go out to Atlanta. It's Boston versus Atlanta. Game 6, tip-off at 8:30 Eastern. Celtics -7, totals at 230.5. This is game 6. A lot of pressure for Boston here to close out and move on to round 2. Get ready to play Philadelphia. However, the Hawks have given them a bit of a hard time here, and now they look to get it done. Can the Celtics finally end this series, and which I thought could potentially be a sweep? Hasn't been that way. Ronald Cabang, what's your thought process for the Celtics out in Atlanta tonight for game 6?
Yeah, you're right. It was kind of looking like an easy sweep, but now you see the Hawks fighting back with 2 wins in a row here. Trey has been balling the last 3 games as well. The Hawks also get DeJounte Murray back tonight, so they have some momentum on their side. Historically, though, this is a spot that supports the Celtics. So we can go back all the way to the 2015 NBA playoffs, where road favorites coming off of a home loss as a favorite are 22-4 straight up, 20-6 against the spread. So these teams are covering at a 77% clip. That is the situation tonight for the Celtics. If you look at the Celtics specifically in that same situation as a road favorite following a home favorite loss since the 2019 regular season, the Celtics are 12-3 straight up and against the spread, and that includes in the 3-0 straight up and against the spread in the playoffs. So most recent instance was last year versus the Heat. They got it done there, but the counter narrative to that is the Celtics are also 0-4 straight up and against the spread when up 3-2 in a series since the 2017 playoffs. So that counter narrative there is pretty strong as far as how they do in certain situations in the playoffs with this core unit here. Tonight I'm gonna stay away from the side. I have a better look on the total here, but if I was forced to play anything on the side here, I would go towards the Celtics. I think the Hawks probably should have been in Cancun already, so that would be the way that I look from a side perspective.
The Celtics have been a great first half team against the Hawks. I'm looking at Jayson Tatum. He's been the leading scorer for Boston, yet the last game on Tuesday, he was averaging, or he only had 19 points. So, Andy, from a prop perspective, do you expect Tatum to have a bounce back game and a potential closeout game for the Celtics?
Yeah, pretty amazing. I mean, the two of the worst 3-point shooters in the playoffs have been Jayson Tatum and LeBron James, two big names. So you've been cashing those unders on the 3-point shots. I don't know what to make of Tatum. He gets into these funks. When he's hitting his 3-pointers, he looks like an MVP caliber player. When he's going 1 for 10, he looks like far from an elite player. So I don't really know what to expect from him. I think there are a lot of props that you can go after. I'll give you a bunch of leans that I have because I have my strongest play that's up, and we'll go over best bet here. A couple of leans. I liked Trae Young to make over 2.5 3-pointers. He's been, just on sheer volume, he's getting there. I couldn't quite make that a play because if you're Boston, I think you just got to go all out to stop the Trae Young scoring machine. Dave brought up DeJounte Murray going over his points, rebounds, and assists. I've certainly been riding that one. I'm concerned about him tonight, and mostly from last game. He got over his total last game, but it was a little bit lucky. Just at the very end of the game, he had a meaningless 3-pointer. He also had a rebound that just fell right to him that he got an easy putback. So on paper, it looks like he went way over his total, but he really didn't. And what I didn't like was he gave up at the end. The last few minutes, he was not trying. Trae Young was, and then you see him get so mad that he walks off the court and bumps the referee. I didn't like anything from DeJounte Murray. And if this game does get out of control, I saw a lot of quit in him the last game. I don't want to take the chance with DeJounte in that one. So I can't ignore Derek White. I was so mad at myself because Derek White went under his PRA the 2 games ago. He just had a miserable game. He was out of sorts. He got into foul trouble, and I thought, I got to go back to Derek White again. And sure enough, he goes over his points, rebounds, and assists. He's been fantastic for the Celtics, especially when Marcus Smart is not hitting his threes and Jayson Tatum is not hitting his threes. Derek White is a fantastic guy to go straight at Trae Young. And Trae Young's patented after you defense, the after you to the rim. And then there's Derek White for the layup. So I think those are a few. And I got to say, I'm my mouse is hovering over hitting yes on taking the Atlanta Hawks over 111.5 for their team total. Trae Young doesn't give up at the end of the game. If they're down, he's going to be trying to score as much as possible. I think the Hawks are for real. I think they can smell that they can take this Celtics series one more game. So I see a lot of points. I don't know if the Celtics team has the defense in them. I do like that 111.5.
Trae Young had his best game of the postseason on Tuesday, 38 points, 13 assists, and DeJounte Murray is coming back from a suspension due to the official altercation, we'll call it. I see that as a problem for the Celtics with the production increase that Murray has had in the postseason. He's getting more points, he's getting more rebounds, and he could be a better facilitator against this Boston team. Steve, do the Celtics close it out tonight against the Hawks?
Well, we all thought they were going to close it out, obviously, on Tuesday night, right? And I did the show here Tuesday with Joe Megan, and we were all saying the odds of all three double-digit home favorites winning outright was 63%. That's what a three-team parlay true odds were. Of course, Phoenix and Denver, who we'll talk about both of those that series coming up here in just a moment. They both got it done, but it wasn't pretty. They were trailing. It was close. And, of course, the Celtics blow the double-digit lead. Hawks had less than a 2% chance of coming back and winning that game, and they did so. And keep in mind that Philadelphia is still waiting for Boston. And this gives Embiid extra time to get healthy because there's never a set schedule in the NBA, right? I mean, they start series when they want to, like we've seen with these ones coming up that we're going to preview. So Philly caught a real break by the Hawks pulling that upset because now this goes a couple more days. It delays the Eastern Conference semifinals starting a couple more days. And the Celtics do need to get it done. Now, needing to get it done and getting it done are two different things, obviously. I do have a strong best bet on the side for my clients for half price Thursday right now on my page at WagerTalk.com. So I'm going to focus on the total a little bit here for this segment. We've seen a little bit of sharp money. I think it's sharp money come from 232 down to 230.5. And I would agree with the under here. In fact, it's 231 at a lot of the Vegas books. Some of the leading offshore indicator books are 230. Some of the sharpest books that I follow around the world. So I do think there's some sharp money on the under in this game. And it is an elimination game. All game 6s and 7s are by definition elimination games. And historically speaking, over the decades I've done this, game 6 and 7s are a little bit lower scoring on average than the rest of the series. So the defense does come when the series is on the line. And you would think that'll be the case here tonight. Also, Boston has to get by with some defense after Atlanta shooting 46% from three-point range in that last game. And the Hawks also shot 38% in the game 4 rather at home. And in game 3, they shot 44% from three. So I think that's going to be the focus is try to limit the outside shots. And if threes are a little less likely tonight, I think this game gets under the 230.5.
If there's one team rooting for the Hawks, that's the Philadelphia 76ers. They just won a game 7, hold out the East as long as possible. Boston hoping to close it out tonight in game 6.